Hallelujah. We praise you at the highest range for you. Good afternoon,
Good afternoon.
Mr. Timothy.
Yes.
Good afternoon to all the audience that will be coming on, that is listening, that get the first opportunity to hear us is on Radio Line. Want to thank everybody else that's coming in on the Gemfm page or on the Facebook side of it. Thank you for coming on and be with us. Today, this is Texman Warren on Gemfm talking about great way finances. I learned something today. I heard something from the Lord today when I was speaking to somebody, and then the person was saying something, and then I heard what the Lord says. So I'm going to reiterate it here. If we don't take heed in what we hear, that will be better for our generation. Because the Bible says about us, so we got to pave that way for them. It doesn't always mean you be a good Christian and they follow. It could be houses. It could be just the land, just a block land. But if you choose not to do it now, then when you're in the retirement home and they're struggling to pay that rent, or they're struggling to buy that car, or to fix that Jeep, and you sitting there and your expectation is your next bill is going to pay, you put added pressure on them. If something happened and you don't have proper insurance, you put in added pressure on them. So that's what we're going to do. As we get in there, let us make it easier on them, because if we fall today or tomorrow, they're going to keep us in their homes, and that's an added burden. But if there is something that you have stored up for this time, because the Bible warns us that perilous come, he also says your latter days will be better than your former days. But if you're not prepared for your latter days, how are you going to enjoy it? Let us use wisdom with how and what we leave behind for our children and our generation to come. I turn over to the person that can speak much better than me about finances. And this is Timothy from Great Way Finances.
Hallelujah. Good afternoon. Thanks for your word of wisdom. They are always, always invaluable. They are always, always big to hear and to digest them and to put it into action. It's just it's just too wonderful to hear them. So appreciate the opportunity once again for being on the show. Um, I welcome our viewers in the house, wherever you might be. Welcome to the Money Matter shows hosted by Texman Warren. My name is Timothy from Great Way Financial. And all we do is we educate families every day about finances, about what they should be doing to make their generation better, to help their children to have a secured future, right? And not only that, we want you yourself to have a secure future, right? That's why we want to talk about your estate planning. We want to talk about your retirement planning. And there are also some number of investment opportunities that you should be educated enough and know different ways which you can invest, right? So our keywords again is education, 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 because we know that's going to go a long way. That's going to help you, it's going to help your family, and it's going to help the next generation to come. So with that, I appreciate you for coming again onto this program this afternoon, which happened on Tuesday and Friday, 12 to 1 p.m. I apologize. I think we rescheduled our last meeting because I was actually on some very urgent meetings that were scheduled as impromptu. And when I had to be on the road, that is the problem. And when I was trying to call Mr. Olu, and I told him, hey, Mr. Olu, I have to get on this assignment. What can we do? He said, what are you talking about? You didn't tell Texman Warren to take over and do the presentation for today. I said, yeah, I think he will be doing the presentation. Yeah, because he says, he was telling me, he said, I know you are a good financial educator and I have a lot of confidence in your team, but it looks like you are not duplicating the way I want you to do. I want you to to make sure that Tex can do everything you can do. I want Tex to to just duplicate. And it was funny, but it was an interesting discussion that we had. But we thank God for everything, that everything went well. As I usually say, it's always a great joy to have the privilege to talk to you, to talk wherever you may be, to talk to you about the importance of having the right financial education. And again, we are still really usually open. As we said, we are open to your calls, to your questions, and anything that you may have. We are ready to give you what we call an independent financial advice, which means that even though we have a number of great financial partners and vendors that can provide you all the services that you are looking for, like the banks, RBC, BMO, TD, Ivari, Manulife. We have all those partnerships, but we are not in any way tied to any of them. We are not captive. We are independent. We will tell you this is the way you can get the best children RESP, for your kids' education. We'll tell you exactly where and how and what you need to do. So that is what we preach, and we have the strong belief that if we continue, right, to listen to all those things, and we put it in our heart, and thirdly, we think about the next generation, right, we are really going to make a lot of difference. Okay, so I don't know how short our presentation is going to be today, but what I wanted to talk about was I wanted to deliver it last week. I mean our last session on Tuesday, sorry, but we didn't meet. But I want to do it this week because I want to open some fresh topics for April as well that we'll talk about into the May and probably the middle of the year. But before we do that, there was a topic we were talking about all the opportunities, the great opportunity at Greatway. So there was a part 1. We will talk about the part 2 later on. And if you recall very well, in the part 1, if you have missed it, go back and look at our videos and our recordings. We talked about the fact that the opportunity we have at Greatway is an opportunity that exposes us to different area of financial opportunities to help families, right? So it's end to end. Tex have mentioned that if you are an adult today and you don't have life protection, you are definitely doing something wrong. And she's absolutely right. But we don't even just talk about you having life protection. We talked about life protection as just 1% of the 99% of things we can offer you. Yes, if you come, if we look at your financial situation and we do a financial need analysis and we see that you need life protection, we are definitely going to.
Printer going on in the background?
Hmm?
Is your printer going on?
My printer? No, not really. Are you hearing any noise?
Yeah, I'm hearing the printer.
No, but you know what? Let me see.
A wavelength, a radio. Oh,
Okay.
it's up.
No, my printer is not on, but let me do this. A second. I don't want that noise too. Okay. 1 second. There may be something on my laptop that is making that noise. So I'm trying to see. It's still there, right?
No,
It's not.
no. It come back, it's gone.
Okay. All right, let's continue. I will keep watching and make sure that we have a smooth, quiet.
Or
Okay.
if you have multiple windows open,
Yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to.
that can make that noise.
Okay. So yeah, so we were talking about the continuation of what we have for you. I'm going to also try something as well here. Let's see. It should be. Well, I don't even know whether if I switch to this, it's going to help us. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Is it better?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, so I said we want to finish up a little bit of what we started on the opportunities at Greatway. And the reason why we are talking about this opportunity is, as I said, we are getting really, really busy trying to help families, as well as trying to help other people that want to do the same. They want to, they want to help people. They want to be financially free, and they want to, most importantly, make a difference. So because of that, at this particular point of the year, we are talking about the topic of what are the opportunities we have as Greatway in the Greatway financial end. What we discovered that there is a whole lot of what we can do, right, in terms of the area of financial, in the financial space. So last week I showed us that we currently have Greatway mortgages, Greatway real estates. We could probably have a lot of vision going on to expand to different parts of the world, like USA, and so on and so forth. Okay. So actually, as well, we talked a little bit about, is it everything okay?
Mhm.
Okay. So we also talked about why do we want to change the narratives by becoming more and more independent financially, by being a business owner, by being an entrepreneur. And what we discovered that that is where a lot of us should be, so that we can do more. You can give that more financial help. You can do of a lot of things, right, to help other people and to help your family. So we talked a lot about being a business owner. Okay. And we said that you can achieve that if you are in an organization like ours, because there is an opportunity. There's already an opportunity for you to do that. So what I want to talk about today is the one of the ways where just one out of many of the ways that you can earn income, that you can make money here, that is directly straightforward, is automatic. If you do what you need to do, you're gonna earn that money. Of course, it is not, you are not an employee, right? You are a business owner. So you need to take charge. You need to do what you need to do to move your business forward. So I want to show us one of the things that we can do, and that will make a difference, for a lot of us that we are looking for opportunities, other job or opportunities to grow our income specifically. We talk about that. We are beginning to talk more about the importance of financial freedom, because it is very, very important, right? So I will conclude that part today, but before I do, I want to talk briefly about what you can do today for any child. And I want to plead with all the audience that will listen to us today. We have mentioned this before, and we have talked about it before, but before I give that presentation about the opportunity, I want to quickly run over this very, very key presentation, this very sensitive presentation of how and what we can do for our kids in order to prepare them for the future. So Texman Warren, I will appreciate if you can give me control. So a lot of people, yeah, you can give me, sharing control, ability to share. A lot of us, we love our kids a lot, and we want to give them the best. Okay, and one of the way we are trying to give them the best is to give them a very good and sound education. Okay, but while that is really, really great, you understand, because I, as an individual, I know the impact of education, what education did in my life and where I am today. The truth is that I am happy to declare to you here on Gemfm Financial Education Liberation that education is not enough, is not all that we should be doing. Okay, we should be doing more to help our kids to have a better future. Okay, so let's go into one of the things that we educate you about that you can do for your kid. This is something that you can actually put in $30, okay, as little as that, okay. You can put in $50. You can put in something really, really small. And before these kids actually enter or get into higher education or into the college, you know, this type of investment would have yielded even some substantial amount of money for them to do a lot. It is a long-term investment because if these kids keep this investment, so just picture it this way. I have this for my 2-year-old kid, and this investment will be there for the next, let's say she is retiring at age 65. This investment will be there for the next 65 years. All right. Do you know where I will be in the next 45, 65 years? But that thing will be there. Just imagine it. So even if that kid doesn't do anything, that investment alone is something that is substantial. And that is what we want to show you. And that's why we are saying there is no, it is very, very simple. It's very easy. If you can save money, it has been proven. If you can do some low risk investment and you are consistent with it for 30 years, there is no way it will not make a difference. Because the reason why we don't, build wealth, why we don't leverage a lot of investment is that we think short term, right? So one of the world richest men, whom is really specialized in investment, is called Mr. Warren Buffett. And one of the very powerful words that I've heard from that man was when they asked him, why do you suddenly become so rich, right? Why do you suddenly sit down in your house, do everything that every other normal person do, and you became so wealthy, which means that you didn't open a factory, you didn't open a computer, you didn't do anything. And he said it, in a simple way. And the summary of what he said is the difference between you or me and somebody that is doing something else is I take my money, I keep it in the right place. That is, he invested, and I wait. I am patient for it to grow because there is a ripple effect, okay, which we call compounding effect when you allow your money to grow, okay? And that is what we want you to do for your children. So let's look at this again for today, and we will run into the business opportunity, how exactly you can make something at least that can make a difference in a great way. And then we will start something new by next week, by God's grace. So if you can see my screen, the question is, would you like to save for your children's future? All right. So 100% of people that I have met on planet Earth, they usually say yes to that question, okay? So it is not normally an issue of whether we want to save for our children's future. But the question is, how early do you want to start saving for their future? Because there is a big difference when you save today and when you start saving in 5 years. Even if in 5 years is still in an early time, but there is a significant difference to the end. And we can show you exactly what that is. if you put this money 10 years earlier into this account, what difference does this make? So when do you want to start saving for your kids? If you are familiar with this Chinese proverb that says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The reason is, if you and I plant that tree now, right, then in the future we have this fruit and many trees and fruit to harvest, because don't be surprised, this tree may drop a fruit and then that tree also grows because of the compounding effect. So that is why the best time to invest in your kid is now, is today, because there will be a great difference if you start tomorrow. And somebody might still ask, why exactly do I need to bother about my children, about my kids? After all, they will get free education during their school, during their high school, and when they get to college, right, they are going to get government grants. Well, the truth is that that is actually an option, but we believe strongly that that is not an option for you, because you don't want to leave your kids in debt. Texman Warren just painted that picture, which is a really scary picture, right? What type of future do you want to have based on what you are doing with your kids? That is the big question, right? So again, why do we need to do this for our kids? The reason is simple. The reason is that the Canadian statistics have showed that those who don't do it, by the age of 65, 53% of Canadians are usually financially broke. And you don't want your children to be broke, or neither you should be broke.
Mm.
And 14% of Canadians are still working at the age of 65. Somebody may ask, is it wrong to continue working at the age of 65? We know it's a reality. And the answer is no, there's nothing wrong about it. But these people are really working very hard. This 14% specifically that we are talking about, they are actually the people that if they don't work, they cannot survive. That is what we have a problem about. Okay, so you will see sometimes, you see seniors working at the stores or working in places. It's not that they cannot work. In fact, I used to say it on the show that I have a father who still does a lot of exercise, who can still do a lot of things. That is fine. But what we are saying is, what about if you have to work at the age of 65 in order to survive? That is not your portion. In this Canadian statistics, we can see that 9% of Canadians are financially secure. What does that mean? It means that these people prepare for the future. These people save against the future. A lot of people might think, is it important for me to sacrifice anything in order for me to enjoy the future? The answer is yes, because that is how it's designed to be. You remember our presentation about how life works, right? God has designed it in such a way that when somebody like Texman Warren, which I know that she still looks like she is in her 30s, okay? But when as we grow up, there are some certain things that we cannot do anymore. That is God's design. So, do you think that there is a reason why God designed that? Yes, the reason is that when we had the strength, we should use the strength the way God has blessed us with it. So, this 9%, as we said, they know exactly what they need and they prepare for the future. Unfortunately, 24% of Canadians don't make it up to age 65. It's very, really unfortunate, but it is still part of the life situation. How money works. Each of our children, we have the opportunity to invest for them today. But let's say that all you have is this $10,000. Over the years, you want to invest in your children. You have the option to take this money to the bank, but the bank will normally get more than you should get, or the bank will usually get more than you. So today they will hardly give you 2%, for your money, but we will make it 4%, and it's guaranteed. But the problem is, we will apply the rule of 72. What is the rule of 72? The rule of 72 is a simple compounding formula that tells us exactly how long it takes for this money to double. So 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. It means if you invest $10,000 for your kid today with the bank, it will increase at every 18 years. But guess what? Even when that kid is 36 years old, the money has doubled to 40,000, right? So the question is 40,000 a lot of money if you invested 10,000? The answer is yes, it's a good money, is a lot of money. But the issue that we will all agree is will 40,000 be enough in the next 36 years for that your baby to buy a house? Then that is when we run into the trouble. What will 40K do for your child in the next 30 years? I will definitely tell you confidently, with the rate of inflation, with the financial crisis that the world is in today, with the instability and insecurity, and with the signs of everything, it is definitely nothing. Okay? And this bank will give you this 40,000, but they've turned around, they take to 10,000, they took it to big companies like TD McDonald, and unfortunately, which is fortunately for them, they are getting 12% of your money. Even though this money is not guaranteed, these companies are secured because they have been tried and tested for years, and the rule of 72 applies. If we divide 72 divided by 12, what happened is it is 6 years. So with the same investment and with the same 10,000, your children's money will start doubling every 6 years. And lo and behold, at the age of 36, imagine at the age of 36, the money in your children's investment would have doubled to 640,000. So my question to you or to anybody listening to me is, the bank will make 640,000, but they will give us 40,000. Will you like, or would you appreciate this type of difference? That's my first question. And number two is, if you were to get 640,000, do you think it makes a lot of difference? I think if my child gets 640,000 in the next 35 years in our account, it will make a lot of difference to them. Yes, it will make a lot of difference. And guess what? A lot of people know that we should be getting 640,000 and not 40,000. But there is only one way to get that. just one way. The one way is you need to invest in your children so that that money will work for them. Your children will grow up. Okay.
Someone may ask the question. At 36, there is 640,000.
Correct.
If the child is under 5 now, how much is that investment per month right now for her or for him?
Very good. So what I am telling you, we have to run the illustration. So the answer is, I don't determine it. I don't know it. We have to sit down together and put it in the tool of the investment. And then we will calculate it. And it is a contract. It is contractual. Okay. Whatever I'm showing you is a contract that we need to work together. We need to put the values and determine it. It's not just from my brain. This is actual values of investment. Okay. So that person needs to come. We need to check it together to tell them exactly, if a child is 5 today, if you put this amount of money, when that child, that is another 30 years, right? What will it take for, how much will you contribute for your child's money to grow to 640,000 in 30 years? It's an easy calculation for the two. Okay, go ahead with the next question.
The next question is, now, because you give us the synopsis of how things could be, is basically saying set an appointment now. So we can do a correct amount and numbers.
Correct, yes. So and by the way, these numbers we are telling you, we are showing you, you are seeing these numbers the way I said every 6 years, but the numbers will do for you. You will see what happened every year. We do policy review twice in a year. So we will tell you how much the money has earned in June, if that is the middle of June, and December. So you will see it every year. It's a long contract that shows you line by line what you will be getting.
Okay.
Yes. So, any other question for now?
No, not for now.
Please do this for your kids. Don't forget, if you want your kid to have 640,000, all you need to do is to follow the money rule. This rule is a money game. Anybody can win. But the problem we are having, which I'm going to come to later, is a lot of people are not ready to even sacrifice for their children. They don't know that little sacrifice can make a lot of difference. And let me tell you, just for you to know, that money you are seeing there, which we have in that illustration, you see that that child, let's say is 1, we get 640,000 when they are 36. They are not going to, you are going to only pay for that money, the contribution for 20 years. So yes, so we will show you exactly how much you need to contribute for 20 years. So what do we want to talk about? You see, this 67%, they are financially weak. That's what it means. They are not able to enjoy the life they deserve. That's when they are old and they should be enjoying. But this 9%, they are always absolutely financially free. Within this 9%, that is when where we have the 0.00001%, very, very tiny fraction of those people who are millionaires, of those people who are billionaires. So, but for you to be financially secure, you need to do something different. Everybody wants to be financially secure, right? So how do they do it? So there are 2 ways to earn. Number 1, you work very hard for money. And that is why when Tex Mawere says things sometimes, I respect it a lot, because yes, we parents today, most of us, we are working hard for money. That is what we are doing. Okay. But that is fine. The question is, do we want money to work hard for our kids? That is what makes a difference for the children of the billionaires. If they are well trained, they have money to work for them, and you can do the same for your kids. So would you like to see how much and how more money can work hard for your children? Yes, we can tell you exactly how money can work hard for your children. Well, what you can do is you have to rely less and less on the traditional bank. And do you know why? The reason is we have shared with you on this platform where the banks came together and said, hey, the bank said, is a publication. They said, real financial education will threaten our business model. The bank said that. The bank said, if you know what you are supposed to know in terms of finance, if techs know, if everybody knows, bank will not be what it is today. So bypass the bank, go directly, take that $10,000, take it to the big company. Unfortunately, if you want to do it because you just want to try it, you may make a lot of mistakes. You need a financial expert like us, right? And that is one of the best way to get that $640,000 deposited into your bank account. What is the risk? If the market goes down by 50%, right? We are not saying that your money will just grow or we are doing any magic. Your money is working for you, right? If the market goes down by 50%, you will have 320,000. It's better for you than 40,000 that your child is going to get. If the market goes down by 90%, for example, guess what? Your child will get $64,000. This is very, very, very rare. I mean, almost impossible. But let's say that even happens. We want to tell you that your child will still get something better. So what is the real risk? There is only one real risk. The real risk is you are not ready to invest in your children. That is the only risk we are taking. You are not ready to build your kids and your grandchildren and the next generation future. That is the risk you are actually taking if you are not taking this type of investment. How much tax would you like to pay? Okay, well, a lot of us want to pay tax, right? But we want to pay a fair share of the taxes. So do you want to pay 100% taxes or 50% taxes or no tax if it's legally possible? A lot of people will say, I don't want to pay tax if it's legally possible. But guess what? You can pay tax when it is due, as deemed fit, but you can gain more if you can earn tax-free where Canada government and legislation allows it. Okay, you can, let me repeat that, you can gain and earn. As you know, this is a public medium, and that's why we are saying it. There is a way to earn in Canada tax-free as allowed by the government. This is one of it. This is one of it. The other one is that tax-free saving account. Don't forget, that is another one. Should I tell you another one? The third one is if you have a primary residence, okay, your house that you are living, when you sell it, the government will not come. Okay? The government will not collect any tax on it. So this is one of the ways you can earn tax-free income legally. So, and how does it work? Here is this beautiful handsome couples that have 2 children, age 5 and 6, like we have in that example. So somebody asked, what can I put here? As we said, just as an example, These people's household income is $100,000. And the government of Canada, where the CCV is giving the children $563 per month. Okay. Well, this money is meant to help the parent, right? Is it the money meant for the kid? Yes, it's meant for the kid, but who is taking care of the kid? It is me, right? It is you and I. So it's meant to help us. But how can we efficiently use this money? Well, a lot of people use it to do things for their kids, which is fine. However, what about with this Canada child benefit of $536 per month? You decide to save $100 for each kid. Just $100. What does saving $100 a month for each child take? I will say it is nothing. Do you know why? I can tell you why. You can simply do it. You can simply say, instead of me buying 20 toys for you, instead of me buying 6 clothing that they may never wear, okay? You know, I share my experience with you when we talk, when we share experience together. Sometimes we have our kids' clothes that they are not wearing anymore. We have bags of them. We all know, right? We have bags of them now, yeah. So these are the things that help us. It is not that we won't take care of these kids, but we will be conscious. We will be financially conscious to save just $100 for each of them. And what is the result? This 5-year-old beautiful daughter, if you contribute $100 for her in 20 years, again, let's do a customized plan. Let's run an illustration for you. The investment, the different strategy might be different from what this illustration is saying. So until you do yours, we can't tell you. But for example, this girl, see, not the money, she didn't wait till age 36, more than 10 years earlier. This daughter can start getting $26,900 tax-free every year. But guess what? If she starts taking this money, she can take it till age 100, till she dies. Okay?
Oh.
Yes. And guess what? If she decides to wait for the money, if she doesn't touch the money at all, and this child is 1 year old today, she's 5 years old today. At the age of 67, how many years has she waited? She has waited for 62 years. If you run this investment, if you contribute $100 for 20 years and you leave it for another 42 years, this lady or this child at that time, whom is already a grandma, can be getting $175,000 every year, tax-free till she dies. See, 67 to 100, she'll be getting $175,000, just like that. 175. So you can really, really make your children rich. It's as simple as that. What about the 3-year-old son? With age come more gain. The earlier, the better. Don't forget what we talked about, planting the tree. If you planted that tree, just because this boy, see, the difference between 5 and 3 is how many years? It's just 2 years old. Look at the difference. With the same contribution in 20 years, see, this guy at that time, 23, will be getting 30,000. Look at the difference. Just 2 years difference. You can get 30,000 tax-free from age 23 till death if he starts accessing that money. If he waits till age 67 to 100. Look at how much you will get. 190,000 tax-free. Let's build wealth. Can an IRP give your children a better future? Can it give your grandchildren a better future? Well, the truth is, you are the one that need to decide, because this will definitely give them. You can go ahead with your question.
So as the market changes right now, as of today, do you see any financial hiccups in this investment plan?
The answer, the capital answer is no, because statistics have showed us that hiccup is part of life. But those people who know exactly what they are doing will end up reaping all the rewards of the hiccups. There's no any better way to put it.
So that's those that have the plan now, but as changes from the cold cash to this monies that they want to put out, I call it the coupons. How would investment continue? And then what type of investment? Or we would invest in shoes and handbag, or would we invest in properties? Would properties be our best guess as we go along life?
Absolutely. The answer is, how will the investment continue? The way the investment continue is that there is an investment company that is working day and night to manage these funds. And the company that we send you to is that company that have been around for the past 90 to 100 years. What type of investment will be used? The answer is very simple. The answer is either you use the investment the company or we recommend, that is we recommend, or you take your own investment. So you can say, oh, after 30 years, we reviewed, don't forget we reviewed twice a year. And you said, this investment, can it grow more? We said, yes, can it grow more? Are there any investment that can make it to grow more? If real estate is an option, yes, real estate can be used. And that is why this will not just be kept, okay, so that we don't, we get it right. This will not just be kept for 60 years. This will be looked at every 2 times every year at the minimum to make sure that it is going as planned. Finally, to buttress that point before we move on, let me show you this. If you go to any bank today, right, this is what you will see in the offices. This is what the bank looks at every morning. What are you looking at? The bank, where you and I go and keep the money. This is called index chart. Okay, if you go to any bank, you will see it in the big glass. When you wake up in your house, when you go, what are you looking? This is the future. The bank look at the future. That is why they are smart. When you look at this chart, you will see that this is a roller coaster journey. But in the end, what happens? It goes up. Okay? This is what the bank is looking at. Okay? We will talk about this some other time. But guess what? We may discuss it. But guess what? This chart is not what we want to talk about on the show. We want to show you exactly how this chart will fit your own need. That is why we ask people to come. Let's talk, right? You can browse it on the internet as well. It's called index chart. Okay, so that is what gives us all the confidence that if you have that money, as we told you, and this is the case, which is the case since 1940 or 1935 or something, okay, and this is around 2020. See, this is 1980, it's 1970, this is 1960, this is 1950, 1940. So since 1935, it has been proven that we can make your money to do exactly what we just explained to you. Finally, there is somebody sitting on a shade, okay? And that shade is the shade of financial freedom. And the reason why he's sitting there is because somebody like you and I decided to sow into the future of our kids. Please give these kids the shade they need. And God will help us. God will. It's not easy. Let's put it like that. But that commitment is very, very, very strong. I used to say, if you look at some of us that have experience with a lot of commitment from our parents, we know basically that if they had the opportunity to do more, then probably, we will be probably like the son or the children of Mr. Trump, right? But that is why you need to do more for your children. We are not saying you should do everything, but do a little bit more. This, what we have showed you today, is not too much. If you contribute this, just come and say that, see, guys, show me if I'm just contributing $50 for my kid. Just show me what it is for my 1 year or 2 years old. You may be surprised. In fact, sometimes the company don't approve it if the money is too much, because they will say that the money will be too much. Do you hear me? I'm saying it publicly. Yes, the investment company, I think Mr. Olu has said it before here as well. When he was doing for his kid, they told him that it's too much, right? So what that means, yeah. So the reason why they say that is there is an investment. They know that this money is going to grow. They will look at other things depending on your income, your everything. They want to make sure that you are doing something that is also, they have a financial underwriting. We normally make it right. Does it make sense for you to want to do something like this and you want your child to earn maybe $500,000, when they are 30, they need to look at it because they are taking that investment upon them to make sure it works. So that is what it is. Don't forget, our kids have to be in this 9% that are financially secure. We don't have a choice. So let us show you how your children can benefit from this immensely. And that is the end of the presentation today. I will be waiting for your calls and for your interaction. As we said, just come. Do one thing, just come and say, if I want to contribute this for my kid, what will it be? Tell me, and take it and go and look at it. And we know that God is going to give us the wisdom to help this young generation. So thank you so much, our wonderful host, Exma. I know you are always excited about when we talk about the kids. I know we can't talk about the kids every time, but we have to start doing it more and more now because we need to give them the opportunity. We need to make sure that they are getting the attentions they deserve from us.
Because if not for the 640,000, at least if they have 40,000, at least if they have 70,000, it's a start. Some of us may not be able to do the 640,000, but at least if we save a Tim Horton a day, we can do 20,000, we can do 40,000. And that's all that we're asking for, a start for our children. Please, let us all do better.
there's nothing I want to say anymore, because when we want to do, if we come and we say, this is what you can do, and you say, no, let me start from here. That is the beginning, because that child is also going to do the same thing for their children, you are going to teach them something. That is great. Thank you so much, Texman Warren. And love you always. And please do something for them. You can even come and ask, what about if I want to do $30 for me? What will you do? At least we will tell you what it will be. Okay, so that is it. So have a wonderful Friday, and we'll connect later.
Yep. See you. God bless you.
You
Love
too,
you.
bye. All right,
okay.
Bye.